Hi, good evening. This is Professor Joe, your instructor in Philosophy 1301. I am making this video for week 3 on metaphysics. Now, we finished week 1 and 2, and that is module 1 of our course. Now, module 1 is about philosophy and philosophers, of course. Now, we look at the historical background and the beginning of philosophy in the pre-Socratics, or during the pre-Socratic period. And then we ended up looking at the life of Socrates. Now, notice that the journey in Module 1 includes discussion, vocabulary, journal ideas, and quiz. But the discussion was taken earlier in week 1. Now, in Module 2, week 3, we have all these assignments in 1 week. Okay, so it's quite heavy. This Module 2 in week 3 has discussion, vocabulary, journal engagement on Plato and Aristotle, and then we have quiz. So you have to budget your time during this week because we have 4 activities to look at. All right, so where is that in your D2L learning management? So I will get out my my camera out here, and then I will focus on, you may be seeing my my screen right now. So I will go to contents and go to week 3. So this is week 3, and in week 3 it says metaphysics, the nature of reality. Okay, now the main question that we try to answer in this module is, what is really real as against appearance? So what appears to us may not be truly what it is. This is from experience. We have been deceived by what we see in our naked eyes. So there is a metaphysical demand for investigation, finding out the true nature of our experience. Okay, so if you look at the world, is the physical world the true reality or not? Or is the immaterial world a true reality or not? Now, if we study Plato, we have to change the paradigm of our thinking. But Aristotle cannot agree with Plato on his idea of the immaterial as the true reality. And so he's the idealist. Plato is the idealist, while Aristotle was the realist. So we will be looking at those materials. Now, what is demanded of us to learn? So we try to identify and understand Plato and Aristotle's understanding of reality. So that is the first learning outcome that we try to get into. And also, we try to investigate Plato's ideas and evaluate this Platonic worldview. And then we will apply it to how we have this worldview as well in our lives. We will look at the Plato's understanding of reality and look at and decode them, okay, especially the allegory of the cave into what we learn here and now and what do we expect. Especially, we've been Christianized by the thought that there is the other world that we are seeking, not this world only. And so at the end, we have some symbols that we need to understand in the allegory of the cave. Now, Aristotle will correct Plato's understanding and perhaps our own understanding as well. Okay, so let's look at these materials that we have. So we have our resources. Now, you may have a textbook by Melchert, and this textbook has these chapters 8, and you can see Plato there, page 155 to 161. And if you will develop Aristotle, it will be in chapter 9, the reality of the world, the true nature of the world. So pages 182 to 202. Now, I will not look at the textbook. If you have the textbook, that will be your look up, okay? What I will do is look at the number 2 resource, in which it will explain to us some vocabulary ideas, and it will help us understand what is truly real. Okay, I will open that one, and then let's look at Plato and Aristotle's understanding of reality. Okay. I have some PowerPoints for you and infographics. So one PowerPoint on Plato's Metaphysics. So we will be looking at his dualism and idealism. Dualism is that Plato believes that there are 2 worlds that exist in reality. One, the world of matter that is here and now, and the world of form, which he calls ideas, out there. Now, where is that out there? Only the mind can know. Now, ask Plato, don't ask me where is that, but that is how he would think, that there is a world out there, which is a world of form and world of ideas. So, if you look at the infographics in front of you, there is a divided line. Look at the black portion there. That's the divided line. Now, it says on the extreme left, dualism. If you can see that word dualism here, there it explains these 2 worlds, world of matter, world of form. That is the dualism. Okay, the next column here is the description of this world. Okay, so try to look at this column. The world of matter is the sensible, the material, the experiential world that we encounter every day. The world of form is somehow only intelligible by the mind. This is the spiritual, abstract world. Okay, the other columns, you can perhaps I use the title other names. Now, you can call this world here as the material world, the visible world, the here and now, the truth of the world here, the world of shadows. Okay, so those are terms you can use. Now, the world of form can be called the world of ideas. You can call the invisible. You can call the world out there, the spiritual, abstract, and so on. But this is also the world of original. Everything started as an idea. That's the original world. Okay. Now, Plato has influences of thinking that kind of reality. He borrowed from Heraclitus the concept of change, the idea of change. Heraclitus popularized that one to explain that the true reality is change. And that is what Heraclitus understood the world. If the world keeps on changing, then that is true. So when Plato learned from that, from Socrates, then he took that as a way to explain the world of matter, because for Plato the world of matter keeps on changing. There is nothing permanent in this world. Now, the world of form, he used Parmenides. Now, Parmenides from the Pre-Socratics argued that the only real is the being, that which doesn't change, the constant reality, the permanence. Okay, there is no change in this idea of Parmenides. Change is just an illusion. Everything is permanent. Okay, now perhaps the concept of God as always eternal and the same forever comes from that understanding. Okay, now you notice that this becomes the main characteristic of the two worlds. That the world of matter is the changeable world, while the world of form is the one and the same permanent world. Okay? Now, when Plato was asked, how do we know this world? And he simply says, the world of matter, we just use our senses. We can observe them. We can touch them. We can see them. We can feel them with our skin. Because it's bodily, it's material. Like seeing and touching something here. That makes it observable. So anything observable, experiential, belong to here. So the senses is the gateway to know this world. When you look at the form or the ideas, only the intellect can know this. So when the intellect works, it thinks of ideas, and ideas is abstract. And for Plato, ideas do not change. Okay? It's always the same. Now, those ideas are the original thing that makes reality. So like a chair. So if you ask which comes first, the actual chair or the idea chair? Now Plato's answer is the actual chair is just a product of an idea. So the idea is the beginning of all that exists. So without the idea, there is nothing comes out in reality. So that is the main argument of Plato here. If Plato was asked where among these two, the world of matter and world of form, is the true reality, looking at their nature, their characteristics, how to know them. Now Plato's answer is the world of matter is only a replica or a duplicate or a reflection of the world of ideas. And ideas is the true world, is the true reality, is the original. So without the ideas, we don't have the reality here. So the world of form is the true reality for Plato. That's why he is also called idealist. Now, idealism is a theory in metaphysics that says ideas are truly real, while material things are just copies. They are just replica of reality. Okay? Now, this last column here is what Plato thought in his story of the allegory of the cave, that also aligns with the two worlds. So when he speaks about experience inside the cave, Plato is thinking of the world of matter, where everything is just images, everything is just shadows, everything is just a replica. Now, think of the prisoners looking at the shadows in the wall, according to Plato. They thought it was real because they see it in their eyes. But when the prisoner was allowed to get out from the cave and goes up to get out and see the true reality outside, he was shocked because there is a world out there which is real and original. And so everything down below is just a reflection of the original from that experience of the prisoners. Now, since this is the allegory of the cave, it's symbolic. Now, the prisoner did not really walk outside the cave, technically, in a literal sense. It's just a matter of using his mind to know. Because inside the world of matter, he was using his senses all the time. Now, if you use your mind or intellect, you may be able to see ideas. And once you see ideas, you will get into what? The true reality. And this is how Plato emphasized the world of form as the true reality. Now, is that the same as Aristotle's idea? No. Aristotle did not think the same way as his teacher Plato. Rather, Aristotle taught that there is only one reality. There is no dualism. And the only real is what is here and now. And he cannot accept the world of form. And for Aristotle, there is no such thing as world of form. So if you see the extreme left corner here, column, I have to look back what Plato's thought. So there is dualism. Now Aristotle thinks of, he called it substance. Now we have a new term to learn here. Substance. Now from now on, think of substance. And for Aristotle, substance is any finite being that exists. Now when you say finite, something that is created with a beginning and something also that has an end. Now a chair, a table, my cell phone, my car, they are just finite reality. The opposite of finite, of course, is infinite, something abstract and eternal. Now, I don't think chair is eternal because I know who made it. The one who made a chair is a carpenter, for instance. So there is a beginning, and a chair can also vanish someday. You would lose that. It will be broken. You throw it into the fire. Now it's gone. So there is an end of that substance. Now, substance, it cannot be applied to ideas that has no material existence. No, because substance has two composition. Now look at the arrows here. The arrows. So from the word substance, how would you understand it? So substance is composed of matter and it's composed of form. Now what is matter? Matter here is the material composition of a substance, like a chair. You have wood, you have iron, you have the legs that compose of perhaps a steel or a screw. That is the matter part. Now, is there a form part? Yes. Now, here you have to understand two stages. The first stage is the look of the substance. How does it look like? Does it look like a table? Does it look like a chair? So how would you know a chair? By the look, the shape. However, if you stop on the idea of shape-like function of a thing, you can be deceived. Some things that look like it may not really be something that what we know. So you have to understand the essence. So form here implies essence. What is essence? And essence is the unique identification of a thing. It is something that defines a thing different from the other. So what's the difference between a chair and a table? Of course, the chair is used for sitting while the table is used for like studying. You put your things on top or you can dine on it, but that's not a bed, but that's not a chair. A chair is unique. Now, I remember how I would understand something. There was a detective who uses a pin as like it looks like a pen and it has a switch, but it's a camera for recording. Now, if you think that it is a pen, you're wrong, because that thing that looks like a pen is really what? A recorder. So a detective can use that to deceive someone thinking it's a pen, but he is already taking some videos or data from somebody he is investigating. So there is a kind of form analysis here. What is really the essence of a thing that defines the thing different from the other? Okay. That speaks of a substance in its composition. Now, there is also another arrow here, that a substance also has four causes. Now, what does it mean by four causes? It has a material cause, efficient, formal, and final. Now, I will explain one by one. When you say a material cause, what's the material thing that this thing is made of? That's the question you can answer. Like the pen. It's made of plastic and it has what? An ink inside. Now, the chair has foam here, but it has a metal. So that is the material composition. It could be a wood like a surface that is used to make a chair. Okay, so just ask a question. What does that thing made of? Now, efficient cause, from the word efficient, of course. Now, it is the maker of a thing. So you ask a question, who made the thing? Who made the chair? Who made this pen? Now, if you can answer that, then you know the efficient cause. Who made the building? Who made the house? So the carpenters, the contractors, for instance. Okay. Who made my car? Say the Toyota. Okay. Honda. That's the efficient cause. Now, formal cause is the shape-like composition that could help us understand a thing. And that is the essential understanding of a thing. What's the essence of a thing? What is it being used as a pattern, as a unique, say, shape that you use, like a blueprint of a thing. Now, is there a blueprint of a thing? Like, a pen looks like this all the time, right? Yeah. An airplane looks like a bird, a formal thing. This is shaped like thing. But the essence of that plane is it could move people by air. It's used for transporting things and persons through air. Okay, so there must be a formal cause, and it has a design, it has a blueprint. Like when the house is being built, an architect may provide a shape or a design. But after the design, perhaps the engineer will make a blueprint, something that makes it for the workers to follow, because that is the design, the formal part. And of course, along with the form is the essence. What is that unique distinction that defines that thing? And the final cause is the purpose. What is it for? Now, is the pen used for dining as like a spoon? No, it's used for writing. A chair is for sitting. A table is where you put your things. Used for dining, used for studying. So there is a purpose. A car is for me to drive so that I can move from point A to point B. So that's the final cause. Okay, now another arrow is called the categories of a substance. Now, when you say categories, you can ask, there are two ways in which a substance is being used. How is the substance being used? Now, the answer is as a substance or as an accident. Now, how do we define a substance earlier? A substance that we say is a finite existence. Now, this pen is a substance. But this pen exists in itself. I can put this in the table. I can just lay this one here beside my laptop, and that this pen is independently existing. Okay? But it could be an accident to me right now. Why? Because I'm holding it. So where is the pen? This pen is a substance, but it's in my hand. So the location at this time, and there's only one pen, that's quantity, and the color is red. Now it's before me, the relation. I'm sitting down looking at it, okay? And it seems like the state I am wearing my suit while holding it, and I could write on it, doing something. I could write rather using it. I don't write on it. But if I will repair this, then I am, and that pen is undergoing something. Now, number 2 to number 10 are called accidents. So when you say categories, a substance can act as a substance because it exists in itself and not in another. While an accident is it exists in another and not in itself. Like this suit, okay, this blazer is also a substance. If I keep it in the closet, it exists in itself, so it remains as a substance. Once I use it, it becomes an accident to me because it is located in my body. So that's how you would understand a substance here. Now, of course, there could be a substantial change. A substance or a paper, for instance. Okay, so I'm holding a paper. Is this a substance? Of course, yes. It has matter and form. Okay, the matter is a sign. You can hear the sound. It's made of white, say, paper. This is a thing. Okay, but it's shaped like a paper. We know what a paper, right? The essence of a paper you can use for writing. Now, how will this change? If I burn this, it will transform into a new substance. Why I say a new substance? Because there is a new matter that is formed, like ashes, and a new form. The ashes itself is a new form. And so it's no longer a paper that you see, but it is a new substance. That is called substantial change. Okay, because you can no longer see the paper, the previous substance, but there is a new substance created. Now, what about accidental change? Can I change the color of this paper? Of course, yes. I can dip this one in a paint. It will become blue. Now, the quality has changed. If I move this paper from this place to this place, there is a change in location. If I add more paper, then it added what? The quantity. Okay? Now, that is how you would understand the categories of a substance. Okay. So this will be a very important topic because it could explain your engagement on Plato and Aristotle. And it will also guide you towards the quiz. So work on these materials. Now, the vocabulary that you have is important on understanding what metaphysics is, the characteristics of material being, the characteristics of a material being, what does it mean by mechanical, teleological, materialism, idealism, dualism, pluralism, and monism. Okay? If you look at the Quizlet, you may find all these terms as already defined there. So I want you to be more, how do you call that? You must use our resources to get the exact definition. Okay? Now, some students will just Google it or find it from Alexa or Siri, and they may not be right. Okay? So try to use our resources. Okay? Once it says you can use my text, I have a text here that you can use. Let's see. Week 3. Okay? Now, you can use the reading, What is Truly Real by Kessler. This one will help you identify the meaning of the terms. Like metaphysics here, you can see the word metaphysics. So read this article. Metaphysics has to do with construction and criticism of the theories of what is real. It deals with abstract issues, and it concerns arise out of everyday experiences. So metaphysics is really part of our daily life when we realize how it is. Okay, now 2 kinds of being, material and immaterial. Okay, now if you look at these examples here, you can spot which one is material, which one is immaterial. Now the next question, what is the characteristic of material being and immaterial being? And here are the 3 characteristics. Now, spatial means it occupies space, okay? And public is that it is verifiable. You can go back into it and find it out because there is an address of material being. Like my house, there is an address. My car is in the driveway. So you can tell that it's material because it can be located. It's public. People can view it from a distance. Mechanical, it is governed by laws of physics, okay? Now, it is pulled towards the ground. So all material things are pulled towards the ground. Like I have this mouse, for instance, okay? If I will release this, where it should go? Of course, to the floor. because physics tell us that there is a pull of gravity going on, and also mechanical because it's an assembly. Things like this is assembled. Okay, so someone has assembled it, and so things do not arrange by themselves. Like, unlike human beings, we have our decisions where to sit. I sit down here right now. I don't know where you are, but you decide where to sit, where to go. So that is the unique nature of material things. It's mechanical. And therefore, things like chairs and tables cannot choose where they are. Someone may have arranged them to be there on the corner or to be there in the center, etc. Now, immaterial being are the opposite of material being. So, if material being is spatial, it occupies space. Immaterial being, like ideas, doesn't occupy space, so non-spatial. It's private because no one would know what's inside your mind as an idea. And so it is you who knows. Unless you reveal it, then you say, this is what I'm thinking right now. It becomes a kind of revealed idea. Now, teleological, it is governed by purposes and goals. Now, if you read these paragraphs here, you may realize that the meaning of those mechanistic, teleological here can be understood the way it must be understood. Okay, now from here is the theories of metaphysics. So the first theory that we will learn is materialism. And materialism is a metaphysical theory that matter is truly real and immaterial things are not. Idealism asserts that ideas are ultimately real. Okay, so dualism is a theory of metaphysics that says reality is both material and immaterial. What about monism? Monism holds that there is only one single reality. Now, pluralism argues that there are many real things that exist in the world. So those are in the definitions. So I'm putting you on where to get those definitions in our text. Okay. Now, do you have if you have questions that needs answers, now let me know so that I can help you out. Let me see if we have all the definitions there. Okay. Now, there are sections that I need you to learn as well. And that section is the journal ideas. Now, I have already explained how these journal ideas be understood. Okay. And we have already explained Plato and Aristotle. So if you study them and master the articles and Plato and Aristotle, then you will be ready for the quiz by the end of the week. Okay? Now, for your discussion, because the discussion seems to be a different topic, as if like we are talking of robots here. It's not about Plato and Aristotle. Now, this discussion speaks of an understanding that what is really the beginning of reality? How does reality affect the way we understand a thing? So your understanding of reality would also, what is truly real, for instance, will affect the way we judge robots. How do you judge robots? Okay, like the case of Data in the Star Trek. So watch the video here and this you can find in YouTube as well. The Measure of Man, there's an article here, and the YouTube video can help you look at. This is data here. This is a robot, and he could speak like anyone else, like any human being. He has intelligence, he has awareness, he has consciousness, and so he's smart. His mind processes information as fast as anyone else. Now, this is Picard. Picard was the one who defended data. Okay. This is Maddox. Okay, this is Maddox, who wanted data to be dismantled. Maddox is a computer and robotic engineer who has been working with robotics. And of all the robots, he was so impressed on data. And so he wanted data to be dismantled because his purpose is to create more like him. And so that is his intention. But data denied that proposal. Okay? Data did not accept that he would be dismantled. Okay? He did not obey. He did not agree. Now, that is supported by Picard. Because for Picard, we must treat data like any human beings who has intelligence, consciousness, and self-awareness. And so, what must be done here? There was a hearing that is conducted here by Justice Advocate General, the JAG officer. So there in the video, there is a woman, the JAG officer, who was listening to two sides of the argument. After Picard, there was Maddox, and who was interrogated, etc. And then the Justice Advocate General make a judgment. And what was the judgment? The judgment of this judge is that we have to give data the right to choose. And therefore, you cannot force data, this robot, to submit to Maddox in his plan to be dismantled. Now, I have some questions here for your discussion. Okay, so question 1, 2, 3, and 4. So develop 4 paragraphs. Okay, develop 4 paragraphs. And these 4 paragraphs will be your posting. Now, you can keep the questions if you want. And these questions can be your guide in developing the paragraph. So the first paragraph will discuss about a kind of issue. What's the issue in the video? Summarize what really the case there. What was the discussion? So I already told you about the case. Number 2, is data a he or an it? Is he a man, and in the pronoun of man is a he, or was it a robot like a machine? So you can just say it. Now, the identity of data, he looks like human being, but he is a robot. Now, can we treat anyone who looks like human being with all this sentient characteristics human being? Can we conclude that way? Or we have to treat any robots, even they have the sentient characteristics like intelligence, consciousness, and self-awareness, can we raise it to be human? Now, is he a man or is he a machine? Now, so when you make many machines, Picard was asking, will that become a race? Now, can you define a race? How do you apply the word race? Can you apply that among robots as well? Or is there a limit? Does that apply only to human beings who has a reproductive capacity? Okay? Robots do not reproduce itself. Human beings, yes. Okay, so it is like biological in nature as such. Now, number 3, third paragraph. It's about refusing orders. Do you think robots have the right to choose? Can they refuse? What if my computer will refuse to me? Joe, I don't want to open because I hate you. Or my cell phone will pop up something there. I will not follow you. Wow. Can a thing like data refuse? If you consider here, data as a machine or a thing. And number 4, why is this video metaphysical? What is metaphysics again? It's a question on the nature of reality. Is this a problem, this video, this controversy, a problem of metaphysics? What is the fundamental problem of metaphysics as a philosophy? The problem of reality. Or is this a case of metaphysical problem, wherein we want to discover the true nature of a thing? Discuss the fundamental problem of metaphysics. What is really real against appearance? Is appearance of data, okay, make him human because he appeared to us as human being? Okay, now it's time to write, time to gather all ideas based on my my lecture today. So try to develop the paragraphs, post it by third day, and most of you miss to post on the third day during the first 2 weeks. Make sure it will not repeat. Okay, and then your replies must be done before day 5. Okay, why? Because you have a lot of things to do yet. You still have vocabulary, you still have journal ideas, and you still have quiz. So prioritize first the discussion, first 3 days, and then 5 days, and then devote your weekend to finish everything. Okay, so we have, if you look at these red columns here, these are your links for the completion markers. You can use this to start the quiz, to start the engagement journal, vocabulary as extra credit, and then your discussion. Now, if you go down, you can see also the link for the activities. Okay, the vocabulary here, engagement, and you have the quiz. All this will be due by the end of this week, February, starting Monday until the 6th, that's Sunday. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope this video would help and guide you to approach module 2 on metaphysics. So thank you so much. And always, by the way, remember that every week, every Sunday, I will have my announcement done. So always look at the announcement every Sunday evening, because I will have to update you what to do for the week. And bye-bye. Thank you so much.